So my 5-year-old, whose locks we're supposed to be talking about right now, bailed on me. She told me she'd make the video, and then she said no, she's gonna watch Bluey. Which is funny because if I was to tell her that I was gonna take her to the park and then change my mind and said we're not going, I wouldn't hear the end of it. But that's all right. It's all good. We still gonna make the video. So she is 2 months, well, about to be 2 months on her block journey, which was completely her idea, completely her decision. She didn't like to comb her hair. It was always a struggle to comb her hair. She just didn't want to be bothered with it. And I used to have locks, traditional locks. That's a video in itself. I'm gonna make a separate video about my journey. Her dad used to have locks too. So I think the idea came from there. But what I did when she asked me to lock her hair, I showed her different pictures of different locks so she could choose, because I didn't want to make the decision for her. So she could choose, and she chose the smaller locks, which I don't call them by their traditional names like Microlocs, Sister Locks, because I didn't use a Sister Lock grid. I don't even know what one looks like. Now I know what Sister Locks look like, but I don't know what the installation process looks like, or even Microlocs. So I just said that they're small locks. When people ask, I said they're small locks. I did them pretty much based on how I felt, what looked good to me. I didn't do too much of research, like as far as how to part them, how to do them, more so how like the maintenance of it. And even then I was just like, you know what, every time I try to do something like somebody else, I end up not liking it or not liking the process. So I said, I'm just gonna go with what my gut feels. And that's what I did with installing her locks. I did them myself. I did think about going professional, but I have my own about that, because I've had my locks done twice by two different people. And I'm not saying that I didn't love them. It just wasn't how I wanted them. Which every time I do things myself, my way, I end up loving them more. I don't know. It's just a thing for me. So when my daughter asked me to lock her hair, it was only right that I did them. So I did. And she loves them. She really do. What I am here to say to other moms, and no, I'm not here to educate because I don't know nothing. Okay? I cannot educate you on locks, because my daughter's locks and my locks are completely different from your locks, your daughter's locks, the next person's locks. You have to find what works for you and go with that. So to day with my daughter's locks is just spraying water, and I oil every now and then I oil her scalp, but mostly just spray water and we're good to go. And she loved that. She doesn't have to do anything to them. She loves just letting them be free. Locks is a mental thing. That's why a lot of people are on their third or fourth set of locks. They can't get past a certain point because it's a mental thing. And once you figure out what it is that's blocking you, then you can, move forward on your lock journey. A lot of people think it's a fad. It's a trend. It's what's popular now. Everybody's locking their hair, but it is really deeper than that. And like I said, I'm not here to educate, so we're not even talking about that. Okay. When you're deciding to lock your kids' hair, because you're the parent doesn't really give you the right to do so. I'm just saying, okay? Involve the child. Show them pictures. Let them pick, okay? Because they're the ones that's going to be looking at themselves in the mirror. They're the ones that's going to be growing with those locks, not you. So you cannot make a decision based on what you like for them. You have to involve them in the process, which is what I did. My daughter loves her locks. I do ask her every now and then if she wants to take them out. She wants to wear her hair like her sister, which my youngest doesn't have locks. And I'm thinking she probably will, because at this point everybody in the house will be locked. So I think she probably will, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And she tells me no. Cal tells me no. She loves her locks and she wants to keep her locks. So always try to make sure that they are comfortable, and understand that they will change their mind somewhere down the line. They will change their mind. But it's just up to you to continue to make them feel beautiful. And help them along the process, That's that. As far as washing goes, I braid her hair into at least like 4 or 5 big braids, and I wash it. I normally wash it. I just don't leave it loose because it's not fully locked yet, and her hair is really curly, so it could possibly come out. So I braid it and then I wash it. The products that I use, the oil that I use is from this company called the Hair Dealer. Now it grows my daughter's hair like crazy. Okay, this is what my daughter's hair looked like before we started using the Hair Dealer, and this is what it looks like now, or before she got it locked. Okay, her hair grows like crazy. Within 2 weeks of installing her locks, she had a lot of new growth. And I know that you're supposed to wait at least 4 to 6 weeks, at least that's what they say, to do any tightening or anything like that. But I also know that if you wait too long to do your reties, you could possibly lose locks. So I went ahead and I interlocked it again at 2 weeks. I used this. Now, the thing about this is it's a great tool, but you have to find the one that works for your hair. Now, my daughter's hair, some of her locks are really really small. So what happens is in the last, when you get into that last retie, when I get it in there, it kind of gets a little tricky. And it's when I pull it, it hurts. So the other day, I was looking through her hair and I thought it was dandruff with dry scalp. Come to find out, when I interlocked her hair the last time, I think I kind of try to get that one last retie in and made it a little bit too tight, which I ended up pulling her hair from the scalp. So I could see that little bulb. Like when you pull your hair out, you see that little white bulb at the end. And I noticed that. So with locks, you live and you learn. It's a learning process. So now that I know that I am going to wait, even if she does have a great amount of new growth at 2 to 3 weeks, I'm still going to try to stretch it. Again, she's only 2 months in, so we have a lot to learn together. So I did a little bit research and I found these. These are like needles, and it looks better. I haven't tried it yet, but I am. It looks better because I just feel like this is like really skinny versus how this is. Like this entire thing has to go through the lock versus this. I feel like I'll be able to get her reties a little bit more less painful with these versus this one. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah, I will insert a clip of basically the 2 weeks amount of new growth and then what it looked like after I retied it. She fell asleep, of course, but I'm going to insert that at the end of the video so you can see. So again, if you're on the fence or trying to decide whether you should lock your kids' hair, do your research or go with what feels best to you, because no matter how much research you do, you have to understand that nobody hair is the same. And with locks, it's all about patience. And that's your kid. You do, what's best for them. If you want to install them, if you want to get them done professionally, that's solely up to you. But whatever you decide to do, make sure that you involve the child. Make sure that they have a say in the decision, because they're the one that's going to have to rock that hairstyle for the rest of their life, or when they get older they decide to cut it off, whatever the case may be. If you want to follow my daughter on her hair journey, and me too, because I have officially locked mine too, again, for the 3rd time. This time I'm gonna leave it though. But again, my video I will post separately. This was solely upon my daughter's journey from the day I installed it to now, where she's almost 2 months, and then I'm going to just take you guys on on our journey. Again, I am not here to educate because I don't really know much about it. I honestly don't plan to do any research, just being completely honest. I don't plan to do any research on it. I'm just gonna go with what feels right to me, because honestly, we have the answers within. Okay, we always try to go what the next person doing, how that person's doing that, but if we just do it our way, it just makes so much sense, much more sense. And we don't get so mad when it comes out the wrong way because we didn't use anybody as a guide. We did it our way versus using somebody else's guide and be like, oh, it didn't work for me. Do it your way. And it's going to come out perfect because nothing is, I take that back. Nothing is perfect, but it's going to come out great. And you're going to love it. And your kid is going to love it. So understand that they're probably going to change their mind down the road, and just let them have a say. Let their voice be heard in the process because it's their hair. Yeah. Follow us, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Maybe Cal will join me in the next video. Who knows?